Hello guys and welcome back to another video from the Bull and Bear Analyst. Today we're looking at the gold market. Just before we start, as always, if anyone is interested in joining my free market analysis group, please feel free to scan the barcode on your screen now. Going back to the gold market, currently trading at 1,638. So the gold market has been breaking below the wedge that we set it for, and it's still continuing around that level. And I don't think it's going to go back up anytime soon. Looking at the fundamentals of the precious metals, is not looking very promising, and I think that we're going to see a decline in the gold market. It's going to be it's going to act very poorly in the next few months, I think, unless few things change. So the first thing about the fundamental is the continuous interest hikes that we are seeing from the Fed, and we've been seeing a downward trend for the gold, and the reason for that is obviously because of the rate hikes that we've been seeing, the past year, let's say, the past couple of months as well. The Fed are being very hawkish, being very hawkish is going to lower prices. You don't need to be an expert to know that. And considering the CPI readings and the inflation numbers that are coming out, they're not very promising. Inflation is getting worse, and I think this is not going to help the gold market unless the Fed pivot. We can see, or they slow down on their hawkish nature. We can see gold going back up, and if they actually do, we will see a huge rally in the precious metals market. And okay, with one thing to look at, and this is the good news, I think this is the only hope for the precious metal market right now, is looking at the government bonds, the 10-year yield. It's actually been going up, and this is obviously thanks to the Fed raising interest rates. So what we can see here is on the daily chart, we can see the RSI is around 70, and it's quite overbought. And if you look at the weekly RSI, it's very high, around 80 now, 78. So it's very extremely overbought, and I think it's gonna turn towards the downside very soon. So if we go back to the daily, I think it's going to go back soon. If we see the government bonds going down, we can expect a pivot from the Federal Reserve. Then we can see gold going back up and the precious metals rallying towards maybe the 50-day EMA all the way to the 200. I think we can see a huge rally coming back up. But this is the only good news, or the only hope that we can anticipate. But apart from that, it's going to perform poorly if the Fed continues to be this hawkish.